Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, regular listeners will know that I'm a big fan of a company called Videoblocks. Now, the founder first appeared on this show back on episode 114, and the CEO also appeared on episode 243. But the company has been on a transformative adventure from a profitable venture-backed stock media company recognised in 2014 by Inc. magazine as the 11th fastest growing media company in the whole of the US. And together with its sister sites, GraphicStock and Audioblocks and Videoblocks, has empowered customers to enhance their creative projects. And that has been ranging from professional production studios like NBC, Discovery and MTV, to prosumers and enthusiasts like college students, religious organisations and also video editing hobbyists. In a digital world where everyone can be a blogger, vlogger or podcaster, there's a lack of affordable stock footage that has held creatives back from competing with those big websites. I mean, traditional offerings from the likes of Getty and Shutterstock is often too expensive for the average home-based user. And also much of that footage is very often cliched and of very little interest to modern creatives. So the stock industry is ripe for disruption, and Videoblocks has been leading that way forward for some time now to ensure that there is affordable stock footage for all. And Videoblocks were already dominating with graphics, video and audio, but they've now introduced stock photography and strengthening that creative suite further. So for obvious reasons, Videoblocks is now rebranding to Storyblocks, which will serve as that one-stop shop for high-quality stock media at a fraction of the cost. So with unique video, image and audio member libraries, plus a marketplace content for both footage and photos, all the building blocks for amazing stories are there already. So it seems to be an incredibly exciting time for the guys at Storyblocks, but it's time to find out more. So let me beam your ears all the way to Washington, DC, so we can speak with TJ Leonard, the CEO of Storyblocks. So a massive welcome back to the show, TJ. But just to get the listeners back up to speed, can you tell me a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, Neil, and thank you for having me back on. It is exciting to talk to you as always, but we are Videoblocks. We're a stock media business that believes everyone deserves access to high-quality, affordable stock media, regardless of your budget or your background. We do this through our unique set of subscription products that allow customers to come in and download as much as they need, to tell their digital stories. And so we're excited to be back on today. Lots of news about new content and new brands. And looking forward to diving into it.
I mean, well, I've used Videoblocks for video content and Audioblocks for audio content for a while now. I mean, all under that Videoblocks label. But before we get into that, I mean, can you tell me a little bit how you guys originally got started and what you originally set out to achieve?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And, even as we talk about today and what comes next, we really do all try and build around this original mission, which is this fundamental belief that everyone deserves access to the same toolkit, the same high-quality content, whether you are a huge production outfit or whether you're an individual looking to put together a weekend project. So everything we build and everything we do and all the choices we make come back to this. How do we make high-quality stock media affordable and accessible for everyone? And, we set out to achieve this originally through this sort of unique combination of incredibly simple licensing. Everything you get from us is okay to use personally or commercially in the US or abroad, TV, print, digital. It's really a very simple, straightforward license. And we also have this unique subscription model where, like Netflix, you pay us an annual membership fee, and for that fee you get unlimited access to this library that we've curated. So the combination of those things, really simple rights, and this subscription unlimited download model means quite often our customers are paying 100 times less for the exact same video or audio clip than you would buy from a Getty or a Shutterstock.
Now, one of the big reasons I invite you back on the show today is because I'm a big fan of how over the years you've remained faithful to that Robin Hood narrative as being a one-stop shop for high-quality, affordable stock media for the rapidly expanding creative class, I believe you call it. Now, I believe you're now bringing all your offerings under a new name called Storyblocks. So can you tell me a little bit more about why you're doing this and what Storyblocks will offer creatives compared to the other services out there?
Yeah, it's an exciting moment, and it really all comes back to this point you made about being a one-stop shop for high-quality, affordable stock media. We've made a good habit of going back and talking to our customers over the years, and one thing we've noticed is that the profile of our customers and of content creators in general is really changing. Rewind to the founding of the business, and you had production professionals and you had photo and design professionals, and they lived in very different universes, and quite often they lived on different coasts, right? You had your motion and film business in LA, and you had your sort of print and agency and photo world in New York, and that's not the case anymore. You've got freelancers, you have boutique studios and agencies, you've got small businesses, you have digital marketers. And really, they're using all types of content all the time in all projects. And so as we talk to our customers, we realize that in order to credibly be that one-stop shop, that first and last place a creative goes when they start a new project, we had to have photo. And so once we decided we needed to have photo, the next kind of logical question is, well, how do you do it? And, again, we looked to our video business as a reference point. We had some success through this unique hybrid model, bringing this member library with unlimited downloads together with this marketplace where artists keep 100% of the sales and our members get a healthy discount. And so we said, cool, we got this hybrid model. Let's bring this to photo. And we think that's the right model, again, for this emerging, evolving creative class. And then once we got there, we realized, oh, man, this is a big, beautiful new photo product. We can't call it Videoblocks. And so we started just, thinking about our brand and where we wanted to take the business. And, what we realized is, that type of content doesn't matter per se. It's what our customers are doing with that content. And again, when we talked to them, they told us over and over, your content helps us achieve our vision. It helps us tell better stories without having to sacrifice quality and while managing to a tight budget. And so this notion of digital storytelling and enabling a new generation of storytellers through our content really bubbled to the top. So that was a big part of it. And then, of course, we wanted to pay homage to the blood, sweat, and tears we've put in over the years, right? And Videoblocks. And so you sort of take them together. There's this new storytelling component. There's the Blocks legacy, and it just sort of made sense to rebrand as Storybocks at the same time we introduced this new photo product.
Now, like I said at the beginning of the show there, I love what you guys do, and I have used Audioblocks and Videoblocks. And for me personally, it was having access to images or not having access to images for blog posts that was kind of missing. I mean, is that another aspect of Storyblocks that you were so proud of and that you wanted to introduce? And was adding that photo marketplace really the next logical step to becoming that 360-degree hub for the creative digital storytellers out there?
It did. It felt like it was a big missing piece. And, about 70% of the stock media market is photos. And again, I think you made a great point that you've got artists, you have businesses, you have digital marketers, and in one moment they're creating an explainer video for their product or their website, and in the very next they're writing a blog post to promote this new product. And we weren't meeting those customers' needs. They would, maybe they're using us for the video, but then they're having to jump out and start their search over again, and they're having trouble finding a photo that matches the aesthetic of the video, and it was just created a really disjointed experience for our customers. So it did. It felt like a sort of key missing piece. It felt like a really logical next step, and it does. It feels like now, for the first time, we can say, great, hey, you're starting a new project. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're looking for stock media, if you're looking to tell a compelling story, come on over to us. visit Storyblocks, and you're going to be able to find what you need to get the job done.
And by doing what you've done there now, and you're giving people video, audio, and picture images as well, do you think that levels the playing field a little for creatives that don't have those big budgets that many agencies, just naturally have access to? But any other entrepreneurs, startups, or people in the creative industry just haven't got that kind of budget, have they?
They don't. They really don't. And, you see the same pattern repeated in a lot of other industries. And, it's always the little guy who gets priced out. Yeah. And most of the time, it's the big guys who are writing the rules to keep the little guys, the up-and-comers, at arm's length. And as an up-and-comer ourselves, as a startup that's growing and taking on big incumbents, I think we can really empathize with, how these smaller independent creatives feel. So that's a huge part of who we are as a company and why we go out and are adding the photo service. And again, everything from the way we structure our rates to the type of content we provide to this unique subscription model. It's really all oriented around, that one sort of fundamental belief that just because you're little or you don't have a big budget doesn't mean you should be limited in the content or the tools you have available to go out and tell your story.
And I don't think it's just about budget either. I mean, if we've mentioned some of those more expensive options that are out there, but many of them have got very cliched, I don't know, guys in white shirts shaking hands over, board meetings. People are really searching for authentic footage more now, rather than that cliched footage, aren't they, as well?
I think that's fair. And, again, it sort of all ties back to the changing profile of the content creator. And, if you're used to designing high gloss, full page, color print ads, you're looking for a certain aesthetic. And if you're a digital marketer who's looking for a sneaker ad that will stand out in someone's social feed, you want something that is more authentic. It looks like it belongs. It's more compelling. And so we absolutely have seen, again, these new creators, this emerging creative class, really shape the type of content that generates a lot of interest and activity on our sites.
I've also mentioned there, obviously, for members, they pay like a subscription fee, like they would with Netflix, to get access to content. But you also, I believe, you've paid the video marketplace on its own has already paid over $6 million to creatives. I mean, will the new marketplace follow its predecessors' footsteps in also rewarding contributors 100% of proceeds from their sales that they're putting on the platform too?
Yeah, no, that's something we're incredibly proud of. That $6 million figure in under, it's about 2.5 years now. Yeah. All contributors see their commissions growing about twice as fast as the rest of the industry. And, in the same way, we're about democratizing access for our members. On the contributor side, we think a lot about how do we find more ways to help our contributors earn money through the material that they shoot. And so it's incredibly exciting to see the growth on the commissions that we've paid out. But yes, we will stick with that same 100% commission model. So photo contributors will earn $4 is the price for our members. They'll earn 100% of that a commission. Again, we've then removed ourselves as the middleman, which allows us to sell additional clips a la carte to our members for $3.99, a touch under $4, which is about the lowest price you can find, especially for sort of high-res, high-quality, print-ready stock photos.
So I've got to ask, what have you learned from this transformative adventure that you've been on? Because essentially it's enabled Storyblocks to evolve from that small upstart content platform into a sophisticated service now, which I believe has reached over 100 million downloads by creators worldwide. I mean, what have you learned in that time?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of amazing to look back and think like we have saved our customers billions of dollars through all of the downloads throughout our history. It's humbling. Mm-hmm. And I think we've learned a couple of things. One, we're usually wrong. And that's okay. That you'll learn from that. That's been kind of the most fun about our video marketplace is, you had an idea about how it would be useful and how it would go. And in some ways it's completely surpassed our expectations. And in other ways it's surprised us in terms of the value that it brought to members or contributors. And then the other is, when in doubt, go talk to your customers, right? Go talk to the people who you serve. ask them what frustrates them, ask them what's missing, and they're really good at pointing you in the right direction. So again, that's something going all the way back to when we took the footage firm library and decided to digitize it, to when we added graphics, to when we added music, to when we built the video marketplace, and now feeling like the time is right to jump into photo. It all comes back to just reaching out to our membership and saying, hey, what else can we do to help?
One of the other things I've loved following your guys' story over the last couple of years is how you've evolved with all the changes that have come your way. So I've got to ask, what is next for Storyblocks? I mean, how do you see it continuing to evolve? I mean, I know you've not got a crystal ball there, but do you actually see yourself continually evolving this service as you move forward?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's, again, a big part of why it felt like the right time to introduce Storyblocks is it sets up this next phase of growth. We've been working really hard to unify our member experience, and the combination of that unified experience with the new brand is going to allow us to expand into new content verticals very quickly and easily, much faster than we used to. So I think that's one thing. We look into the future, we see things like templates and fonts that are great additions that help our members, again, tell better stories. So that's one area you can expect more from us over time is new media types. Another is, we talk a lot about, there's a lot of different ways that creatives are incorporating content now. Sort of the traditional model is you search and you go to a site and you download from the site and you upload it into your editing tool, and off you go from there. But increasingly, that creative process is taking place in all sorts of different places. So, for example, we're working closely with companies like Vistaprint. So when a small business is building their website through their tool, our content's available right there to kind of drag and drop photos right into the website builder. So we're always thinking of new ways, both to expand the type of content we offer and figure out new, creative, clever ways to put that content in front of artists in the right moment. We're in that creative mindset when they're building that project.
So we've got creatives listening to this show in 150 different countries at the moment. So if anyone is listening wanting to take a look, can you just advise of the URL for the Storybocks website? What is waiting for them when they get there and the subscription package is available? And I mean, for example, do you still have to subscribe separately to audio, video and photos, or can you access all of them for one subscription fee, for example?
Yeah, so you can visit www.storyblocks.com. And from there, you can find all the video, all the music, all the photos that you would need for your next project. And, the last question is a great one. We thought long and hard about this, and we didn't want to burden people by having to purchase all the different types of media at the same time. So you can still come in, and if all you need is video or all you need is photos, great, you can do that. And of course, if you are a production professional and you want to package video and music, you can do that. If you want to buy all three, you can do that. And of course, we'll do it in a way that helps you save a little money the more types of content you subscribe to.
Well, a huge thank you for coming back on the show today. I'm going to make you promise to come back on in another 6 months or you, because it just seems to be a story that just keeps evolving, doesn't it? Every 6 months. It's amazing. But I wish you all the best for the platform over the next few months and beyond. And we'll stay in touch and let's see how you go.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Neil.
I love how the team at Storyblocks are the same artist-friendly company that they've always been, but equally how they offer so much more to the creative community now. That unique video, image and audio member libraries for both footage and photos really do seem to be providing those building blocks for amazing stories. Essentially, it feels to me at least that they're empowering digital artists by making creative content affordable to all and having everything that you need in one place. And this is so important now that anyone can be a blogger, vlogger, podcaster, but for too long found themselves priced out of the market. And like I said at the beginning of the show, there is a move away from cliched footage now, provided by those expensive big sites, and there's that big desire for authentic footage now. So it's been a delight watching that story of Storyblocks unfold, and I genuinely love everything that they're doing and what they stand for. But remember, let me know your thoughts about today's show and also how you obtain your video, photo and audio footage for your online content. But it's time for me to go now, gang. So a big thank you for listening to the show. I mean, it's been a pleasure to serve you, my audience, as always. And I will return with a new episode tomorrow. But until then, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.